Wow, it was that bad.
Yes. Because I remember I was 7 months pregnant and I was beaten up badly. The country is under lockdown, so you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And you're heavily pregnant, looking to deliver in 2 months or less.
Yes.
And for the first time, I screamed when now the beating was happening.
Yes.
You know?
Hizo zingine ulikuwa unanyamaza.
Hizo zingine mnapigana na kesho tu unatokea mtaani, hata watu wezi juu unapigangwa saa ngapi na nani. You know, women were so good at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like jana
unachapiwa kwa bedroom. Mnalala unaamka the following day and you're so okay.
Yeah, you know, but for that one, I remember it was the first time that even a neighbor came.
Wow.
And now this neighbor lady happened to be now my co-wife. Yeah, so like
how now?
Hey.
Hello beautiful people, welcome yet to another episode of The Journey. Tunashukuru Mungu sana for the far that we have come. In fact, tuna celebrate 1 year of content creation. All I can say, it has been God from day one. I'm also grateful for everyone who has subscribed. Pale kwa YouTube inatuonesha that at least 70% of the people that are watching these episodes hawaja subscribe. And we are encouraging you guys to subscribe and show your support to us by even commenting and liking these episodes. Na God at our bless. Our motive is not to get a lot of views, but to make a lot of impact. So we are hoping that these episodes will encourage you. You'll learn a lot from these episodes. You'll be inspired and you will learn something new. So tuko place inaitwa Embu. We have been here in Embu for quite some time. They say Embu is a land of opportunities. Na nawaambia, actually there is a lot of opportunities in this county. Today we are privileged to host the CEO and the founder of Pads Drive Kenya. She has been donating sanitary pads and teaching girls about menstrual hygiene. And we are excited that she came here so that she can share her story with us, which is very educative, very touching, very inspiring. Make sure you share this story. Let people out there get to listen to her story. And I believe that her story will encourage someone out there, and God will bless you. Niaje?
Poa sana.
So how have you been?
I've been well.
Yeah.
Yeah, labda wewe.
Hata mimi niko poa, nimeshukuru venye umefind time ya kukama hapa kwa show. At least you share your story with us. Yeah, your story venye tumeongea behind the scenes. It's a very good story, by the way. And I'd really love if you share your story, at least because your story will inspire very many people and they will learn a lot. Na venye tuko hapa ni, we are here just to make people learn about life and whatever you went through. Maybe somebody right now anapitia the same thing, and there is what you did when you come out of it. Somebody else anaweza jua how to come out of it.
True.
So before tuonge sana, first of all, say hi to the viewers and introduce yourself.
So hi guys, my name is Evelyn Kaira. On social media, you know me, most of you, as I am Kaira. And I am a mother of 2 amazing boys, a student at the University of Embu, and currently practicing teaching. And I am also an advocate for social change, passionate about adolescent issues. And I am also a survivor of an abusive marriage. Yeah.
Wow. 2 kids. Hi.
What
is the secret?
Ni God.
Hata mtu anafikiri ulipata watu ukiwa 8 years or 10 years. You look very young, by the way.
Ni God.
Mtu amekuwa kwa abusive marriage anafaa kuglow hivi. Mimi udhani wame dent and all that.
See, God anasemanga his strength is made perfect in our weakness.
Wah! Yeah, by the way. Wacha tuseme tu ni God. We give glory to God kama.
Na kukunywa maji.
Oh, maji. So you guys, maji. Kama mnataka kurembeka hivi, maji. Anyway, so Wewe ulizaliwa wapi and where were you brought up?
Well, me, I have been raised, okay, I was born in Embu.
Yeah.
And I've been raised in Embu and Kirinyaga County. We live in Kirinyaga, but we have schooled in Embu County all our life. So both, like I've existed in both.
Oh, nice. And so how was your upbringing?
Well, I would say I thank God because both parents were there. They're still there, and I love them so much. I was brought up in a family of 3 kids, and I am the second born, the only girl. So I have 2 brothers,
Wow.
Mboro and Kim, nawapenda sana. And I was raised in a home that advocated a lot for love and unity and Christianity. But at the same time, my parents had a very dysfunctional marriage. And that laid foundation for a lot of things in my adulthood. So they separated at one time, then got back together. At one point in our lives growing up, we experienced violence and all that. So but I thank God that as the years went by, things really changed. And it's been amazing that now we see them different. And a lot of change has happened for them also. And I would also want to say that on that note, like for those kids who grow up in those dysfunctional homes, they really work hard like to just feel like they're good enough, even for their own parents. You know, because now when parents are not at peace, you know, there's fights here and there. It can get physical, and you're witnessing it. Sometimes as a child, you start wishing you can be able to fix that. So if you can't, then you start feeling guilty. You know. Now and then, if now you see now, like, you know, who is now probably, you start taking sides, you know. You look at which parent is suffering the most. You take sides. Sometimes you develop feelings of hate towards the other parent, you know. So for me, that happened, and I had a very strenuous relationship with my father because he was an alcoholist, and alikuwa ameundergo some changes in his life zenye zilimdisappoint. So akaingia kwa alcoholism. And that frustrated him even the more. And I used to hate it so much. You know, I used to hate the fact that he was drinking and all that. He would get violent. I used to hate it so much. And to some extent, I would say I was too young to understand that I don't hate my father. I hate what he does. So all through my primary school, I wouldn't say my relationship with my dad was anything I could talk about. I actually grouped myself with kids who don't talk about their dads in school. But then things changed when I was in high school. And I remember praying to God and telling him, now, this guy is not changing. Like, he's not stopping the drinking. Now, and I have really wanted to have a relationship with him. Just give me the grace to love and accept him the way he is. And now that's when I started working on my relationship with my dad intentionally, like knowing, literally, now you're working to feel the love of a father. Because yes, he's been there physically, but emotionally and all that, you've not connected, you know. And I would say that was the most beautiful journey with him. That was the most beautiful journey. And he was still that man, but gradually you would see him for who he is as a human being without now labeling him an alcoholic and all those things. Like, you would talk to him and I would be like, yes, I think I see the father in this man and I love him.
Umesema there is some point that Ali get disappointed and he became, started drinking and becoming violent. So before that time, he was a good dad and he was a good husband.
Now, before then, I remember we were too young. Personally, I was too young because he was not working around. He used to come over the weekends.
Oh, okay.
And he used to give us the best treatments. Like we would go out and we would go to a hotel and eat and play the swings. You know, back in the day, to be able to go to such a hotel, unaenda ukaswing, merry-go-round, bana hizi vitu hazikuwa common. So, and he used to give us that, you know. So actually when I think I started working on my relationship intentionally with him, I used to hold on so much on those good memories and try, it's like an escape. You know, you try to avoid these negative things that have happened and you want to see him for that good man he was back then, you know, because that man is still somewhere inside him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So after that, he started becoming violent. And when he was violent, how did it make you feel?
Like every other child, number one, you develop fear.
Yes.
When you're home, you're supposed to feel safe. Like home is supposed to be that safe space for a child where you feel loved, cared for, you feel like you have that anchor, a place that you can go to when the world is crumbling.
Yes.
But then when there's violence now, home becomes a place that you don't want to be.
Okay.
You know, you develop fear, you don't feel comfortable, you are waiting for the next episode of violence, you don't know when it's coming, you live with anxiety. I wouldn't say it's a good experience. And I will tell you now how that affected me now in future.
Yes.
Yeah.
And was he violent towards you?
No.
You, the kids, it's only towards your mom?
Yeah. It was their marriage thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
But to who he was still a sweet dad?
Like, you know, now when that is happening, you fear even interacting with him.
Oh,
you know, you will talk to him time to time. You will do the things he want done. But unaona ile mnaketi chini na mzae wako ati mnapiga story ama wewe ni mtoto uko na mtoto demu unajua like vile unakimbilia babako, like because girls and their fathers so close like boys and their moms.
Yes.
So we didn't have that with my dad. Actually nakumbukanga nikienda kufanya KCP alijua hiyo asubuhi niko class 8.
Hakuwa anajua uko class 8. How? Ukisoma he was not like following up like your studies, whatever you're doing in school.
Like he was there, like tumeishi nyumba moja, but I don't know how to put it. Like he's physically present, but he's not involved in a lot because sometimes he'll just kama hana job, hataki kuface reality ya sahi niko na challenge ya kuprovide probably for my family, so atatei na nini. So like years moved like that.
He lost his job.
Initially he lost his job.
Yes.
And he would get those times where he decides, okay, now let me focus kidogo. And he would start doing well.
Yes.
You get hopes that this is now becoming better. Then kidogo, anaingia sasa kwa tei. And then you're back to that position where you're like, okay, I can't even trust this person. Like, you know. So as a child, there's not much you can do because how it makes you feel, it's just how it makes you feel. You know, and you're like, I wish this was different.
This is something with many men. When they lose their job, they become depressed. And ladies probably they are so demanding. Unasikia sijui marriages zinaanza kubreak, marriages zinaanza kuwa shaky.
What I would say is, as a married couple, learn to weather the storms. The same way you enjoy riding in the sun, just learn to weather the storms together. And learn to pull each other up. You're not competitors, you're a team.
Wow.
And it is a normal occurrence in life that one time your spouse will be down. You know, the other time probably it will be you. I remember a preacher who used to say, marriage ni baiskeli. We keep doing this, you know. So if you can learn to pedal, together, then it keeps moving. It keeps getting better. But then also the frustrations come when these things happen. We're in the stage of raising kids. Raising kids is hard. It's tough. it's bills, like kids are just like a bill that you bring in this world and they will not stop billing you.
Yeah, ni kweli.
Yeah, so there's that frustration that comes with, I feel like I'm carrying this burden alone. What is this person doing? You know? So sometimes it gets heated for you. Probably you say things you don't intend to say and all that. And when they land on the other person, they do more damage than good.
Yes.
You know? So I think I would say through the storms, couples should just learn to weather those storms together.
Yes.
Yeah. If you capsize.
Yeah.
But I also would say that when you're together, it's much better.
So you grew up now.
Yeah.
And you came back to your dad and the relationship ikakuwa poa.
Yeah, through high school, I
Yes.
remember I transferred to another school at one point.
Yes.
And with the transfer, I promised myself I'm going to do my father proud.
Yes.
So I would only invite my dad for prize giving day.
Wow.
Only.
Yes.
For clinics, parents meeting, I don't want him to come.
Yes.
Because my mom now was working closer to the school, my mom would come. But for prize giving day, I only invited my dad intentionally because
Yeah.
I just wanted him to know, I'm proud of you, Dad.
Yes.
And just like any other child out here, I want you to celebrate my wins with you. You're
Okay.
enough. You're a good enough father. You know, your mistakes don't define you.
Yeah.
We can still walk this journey, become better as we grow into it.
Yes.
And it worked. I would say it worked.
Wow.
Eh.
So even when you're getting to form 4, alijua sasa finally uko form 4. Si kama
Yes.
uko class 8. Actually when form 4
Form 4 alikuwa anajua. And also something that happened that period was like now in their marriage they still had issues.
Oh, okay.
And I remember towards doing my KCSE, I was worried because now there's no peace at home.
Yes.
You need to concentrate, you need to focus. I was in a day school. So you would still go back to that home, you know.
Oh, yeah.
At one point I was like, God, can't I just go somewhere else, finish school and then come,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
But then God will put you there because he knows, like the woman I want you to become in future, you must go through this.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, so many times, I even tried to talk to my mom and she was like, I can't even afford boarding school right now. You know,
Yeah.
just do the best you can.
Yes.
Yeah, so at Form 4 that period, they were still having those rough moments in their marriage.
Yes.
And I remember going to the children's office. Hapa Embu too.
Yeah.
And I told them, you know what? I have KCSE coming up. My parents are fighting and I need them to stop. Niwaambia, I need them to pause until I'm done with my exams and then they can continue.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, where do you come from? Where are your parents? I told them I come from Kirinyaga, but I school in Embu County and all that. And they're like, oh, if you're from Kirinyaga, you are supposed to go to Kirogoya and all that.
But yeah.
I told the lady, I have schooled all my life in Embu.
Yes.
My mother works in Embu.
Yeah.
You know, in any case, any win I make in school, it's going to be recorded in Embu.
Yeah.
And in any case, I'm a child that needs to be helped. So I'm not leaving this place until you help me.
Wow.
Yeah. So she wrote me 2 letters. So akaniambia, pelekea mama yako moja, ingine pelekea baba yako. So I took the letters to them.
Yeah.
So when my dad got his letter, now he had the feeling like, oh, you sent the child to the children office. And then my mom comes in the evening and she's like, I have a letter. And they were like, okay. So I remember that period, it was peaceful. I did my KCSE and I finished 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you passed.
Yeah, I passed.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, after you finished your KCSE, were your parents still living together at wakati their marriage was so shaky?
Yeah, they were living together. The only time they separated, I think, was between when I was in class 3 up to around class 5 towards class 6 there.
Oh, okay.
And then they got back together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now you finished high school.
Yeah.
So you said you got into an abusive marriage.
Yeah.
So kulienda aje sasa nao? This other journey.
So after high school, like every other person, my dream was to leave that village. I didn't want to stay there anymore.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I need a breath of fresh air. Yeah. So I remember getting admitted to Kenyatta University,
Yes.
but on parallel program.
Yes.
I didn't make it to the job cut-off points back then.
Hata ungemeka aje sasa na hizo issues.
But vile niko determined kuipata, but anyway, I didn't fail.
You tried your best.
Yeah, I missed it by 3 marks.
Wow.
3 points. Yeah. So then my brother was in MKU also, my elder brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, alikuwa ahead of me.
Yes.
So my parents couldn't afford to sustain the both of us
Yes.
in campus. So juu alikuwa ahead. So I got out, I did a lot of theater, film. I got into the acting scene and all that. Yeah, so while doing that, it's when now I got into marriage. You know, one thing led to the other, and we found ourselves doing life together.
Wow.
Initially, it was beautiful, and I would say one thing that people think is that an abusive marriage is full of dark times.
Yes.
It's not. You know, like there are the good days you had in there. You
Yes.
know, you had your hopes and dreams of what this could become.
Yes.
You know, so abuse is part of it. It's just the one thing that takes so much from you.
Yes.
Yeah. So initially getting into it, it's not what I expected. And my dream was to always have the family I never had, because I really hated the fact that my parents went through that and we saw it.
Yes.
So I always felt I would want to build a family that is not perfect, but I don't want violence.
Peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A place where you feel safe, a home that feels safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, into it for more than 5 years actually. And at some point in the marriage, I would say, now looking back, even from year 1, there were red flags. But unajua ukiwa in love, red is pink. Actually, hata inaweza kaa yellow. Yeah. So you overlook these things.
Yes.
Because you're blinded by love. I think this is why they said love is blind.
Venye kuna mtu hapa anaona red flags.
You know, wewe uko on the outside looking into how two people are relating, uta question like, ai, mbona umse amefanya hivyo? Mbona udem amebehave hivyo? Unaona? But hao wawili wako hapo, hawaioni hivyo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so now remember, I told you I'll tell you how that affected me. Now, I have grown up in a home where I saw violence.
Yes.
Okay? And these people have lived together. And these people are still together. Kwa hivyo ndoa ni kufanya nini?
Kuvumilia.
Ni kuvumilia. So, I would say I endured abuse for quite some time. Yeah, and it's moved now from psychological abuse, where someone will insult you, say nasty things to you, probably just manipulate you emotionally and all those things, to now physical.
Wow.
You know? But physical kwani ni kitu mpya kwangu?
Ni kitu umezoea hata.
Si ni kitu niliona. Si ni kitu niliona. Yeah. So you become now an enabler by tolerating that.
Yes.
You know, if mtu atakupiga, and then akwambie pole, then kesho tena upigwe tena uambiwe pole and all that, like this person has a card to use on you.
Yes.
You know, I'll just say sorry. You know, so that now when the physical abuse became like frequent, I started now to feel like, this is not it, like I can't. I can't, and I don't want this. And I did like every other woman who was raised in an African home would do, started praying for my marriage.
What?
It's not like you are not praying for it, but
Yeah.
no, you have a special request to God.
You're
You know,
focused on
manze,
marriage, prayer and fasting.
Nataka hii kitu
Yes.
ikae hivi.
Yeah.
You know. But then kuna kitu we used to be told Mungu anasaidianga mtu amejisaidia. In Kikuyu they say gayateithagia mundu witeithĩtie.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So there was this narrative that is preached so much that God hates divorce, you know, and all that. So, and now having been raised na slogan ya ndoa ni kuvumilia.
Yeah.
God hates divorce. Now that makes it now even harder for you to think that exiting is even an option to consider. You have to persevere, pray because God does not love divorce, and just be there. You know, probably he'll change, you know. But then what happens with abuse? They change you now.
Yes.
You know, because unless, and especially I'll say this, if you have been abused by a narcissist, then it's not something that honestly even prayers can change.
Okay.
Yeah, any counseling psychologist who is watching this, or anyone who deals with abuse and mostly narcissism can confirm.
Yeah.
Narcissistic personality disorder is not something you can pray for and then it disappears. You know, this person has to be willing to work
change
on themselves.
Yes.
You know, you can't work miracles with them.
Yes.
And these are things also that they also got them probably from their upbringing.
Yes.
You know. Yeah, so when it got there, I would say I would only talk of one instance now that led me to the exit.
Yeah.
You know, because now over the 5 years it was on and off.
Yes.
You know, the good days are there, they give you hope, and then kidogo kidogo that hope is turned off, you know. Then it translates to ukiona kitu mzuri umefanyiwa unaanza kuwa like, okay, what is coming, because
unaona ina change.
Yeah, you already feel like this is manipulation, you know,
okay.
because normally you won't do nice things to me, so why are you?
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So and like I said, abusive relationships, abusive marriage, those who have been there, they know it's not always bad days.
Oh, okay.
There are good days there. There are days that you look at this person and wonder if they are the same.
Yes.
And especially when now they see like you're realizing you can be without them.
Yeah.
You know, they'll try to keep you there for as long as they can, because you're the one thing they can manipulate. They can just toy around with your emotions. They can break you and make you whenever they feel like, you know. So it happens. You'll have the good days, and those days, the good days are actually what keeps you there.
Yes.
They're the ones that gives you quote unquote hope.
Yeah.
You know. And then the bad days, they come and they break you.
Yeah.
You know. So for me, I would say during COVID for me was a blessing. I would say that.
Yeah.
COVID was a blessing because it was during that period that I learned if I don't exit my marriage, I might not make it out alive.
Wow, it was that bad.
Yes. Because I remember I was 7 months pregnant and I was beaten up badly. The country is under lockdown, so you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And you're heavily pregnant, looking to deliver in 2 months or less.
Yes.
And for the first time, I screamed when now the beating was happening.
Yes.
You know?
Hizo zingine ulikuwa unanyamaza.
Hizo zingine mnapigana na kesho tu unatokea mtaani, hata watu hawezi jua unapigangwa saa ngapi na nani. You know, women were so good at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like jana
unachapiwa kwa bedroom. Mnalala unaamka the following day and you're so okay.
Yeah, you know, but for that one, I remember it was the first time that even a neighbor came.
Wow.
And now this neighbor lady happened to be now my co-wife. Yeah, so like
how now?
Hey. So I didn't know. But then
Oh.
now, after giving birth, that's when I started seeing now, hapa ni kama
signs.
kuna kitu. And then I also had relatives around, and one of them was like, these two people, you know.
Yeah.
And then you ask about it, kuna kitu inaitangwa gaslighting.
Yes.
Utanikosea, ama utafanya kitu.
Yeah.
Na ujue umenikosea, but nikikuja kukuuliza Sam, unanigeuzia sasa.
Yeah.
Unaona? So I remember asking that question about like why like why are you doing this? Kwa like hii story hata haijakuwa wewe hata ndo umefanya tu like ikue. I'm like aji sasa like mi hata nimefanya ikue aji. Like vile ulianza kushuku sijui nini and I'm like aki Mungu nipe nguvu.
Ukampea idea.
Nilikupea idea. You know, so anytime you're dealing with an abuser, they will make you feel guilty for everything. Everything is your fault. They don't take any accountability for their action. Sam nimekutukana. No unafanyanga nikutukane. Uacha kubehave hivyo vile una behave sitakuwa na kutukana. Nimekugonga. Ni wewe. No unafanyanga nikugonge. You understand?
Kwani what did you used to do? Mpaka anaona hii it's right kukugonga.
I would say abusers they don't need a big reason for it. And I can stand here and say it is so sad that my elder son, who is now 7 years, has never forgotten that fight.
Oh, when you were 7?
When I was 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And he remembers it was about 200 shillings that I had no idea about.
What happened to the 200 shillings?
I don't know. Some until today, I don't know.
Alisema umeiba ama what happened?
Imagine, cause ati alikuwa amekelea juu ya fridge and then kidogo jioni anaitafuta, haipati. I have not left that house.
Yes.
He's working from home. Mi hata nimekuwa bedroom most of the time. Amekuwa sito akiwork na watoto. We had a day but like this call a nanny who used to come, do the cleaning, the everything and then go. So usiku anauliza so mbili. Mimi hata sijui so mbili ilikuwa wapi.
Wow.
And that was enough. That was enough reason for being beaten. Actually, the fact that I can talk about that and laugh today, I think I'm grateful.
Because he really beat you up.
Yeah. And whenever I remember that, like, I just say, God is gracious.
Yeah.
God ni gracious because at that point unapigwa, ukiwa na mimba, haufikiri wewe. Uko like niko na mtoto.
Yes.
And by the time na scream ni juu niko nimeshikiwa shingo chini. So I couldn't breathe well. Nasikia nimefinywa tumbo and my head is down and all that.
And the tummy is still mtoi.
Yes.
So, was he drunk or?
No, that's the worst thing. He wasn't.
And all this time he was abusing you physically. Hakuwa under influence of any alcohol or anything else.
No.
What?
Yeah. So I think that's the time I was like, this is not going to work.
Yes.
It's not. I either sign up to let it kill me or I just choose myself. But then unajichoose aje kuna COVID mko under lockdown.
Na sasa mwenye alikuja kukusave was your co-wife. So hata alikuwa anakuja kukusave ama kukusaidia wakubalize. What happened now?
Alikuja kunisave quote and quote. Mimi naweza sema cause now vile ice cream takasikia milango zinafunguliwa, huyu madam amefika hapa wa kwanza, like he let me go. Yeah.
Oh, I thought maybe she was
and
coming to help him.
Then my relatives who lived nearby came.
You called them?
Walisikia tu cause walikuwa ground floor.
Oh, okay, mlikuwa the same.
Yeah, we were in the same
building.
Yes.
So what happened?
So after that day, Sam, what goes through your mind, number one, is I want my baby to be okay.
Yes.
First things first, I just want my baby to be okay.
Yeah.
I want to deliver a child who is alive. I want to deliver a child who is not harmed in any way or affected by that.
Yeah.
And at that moment, you're feeling so hurt by the actions of this person. Not against you, but
Yeah.
his own child. Because in any case, if anything went wrong, we would both have lost a child,
Yes.
you know. But manze, God alikuwa amenipea katoi kengine fighter.
What?
His name is Fadili, and I would say he's just a symbol of how sufficient God's grace can be in somebody's life.
Yes.
Because that time nilinyang'anywa mpaka health cards, so I couldn't go for checkups or anything. Like, I didn't have the health cards. Like, mko under lockdown, you can't even leave uende kwenyu.
What, yeah.
You know.
You are not in Embu ama Kirinyaga?
No. Yeah, we lived in Nairobi.
Oh, okay.
So, at this point, the only thing I felt was, I don't want even to make it a police case. I don't want, like, no amount of vengeance on this person can make him understand how he has made me feel. And I can no longer see him the same, you know. And so I used to go to church, not our church, but there was a church nearby.
Yes.
And I used to go there, pull 2 seats, nambia God keti hapa.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to talk.
Wow.
So I would go talk to God and cry, read the Bible, and I'm looking for that one verse in the Bible that says I should suffer like this in marriage. And I didn't find any. And in as much as God hates divorce, he's never happy when you're suffering in those marriages. And he does not say he hates the divorced or the divorcees.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just hates the action of divorce. Yeah.
It was a church marriage.
No, we had not done a church wedding.
But Rorashu and stuff.
We had now started those steps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that particular night was the night that you left your house, Ama?
I would say my marriage ended for me that day. But I had to physically be there because naenda si tuko kwa lockdown. Na lazima nizae.
Yeah.
Niko almost due like 7 months. It's not that far.
Na health, amechukua your health
Yeah,
card.
amechukua. So I used to pray to God, and I remember when I was doing that, talking to God, I went to that church for a whole week.
Yes.
Doing that. And I think day 3, that's when I felt, I'm okay, I'm at peace, the baby is moving, like I can press my tummy, na nasikia kirudisha and all that. And I was at peace, and I was like, this is enough to make me stay and assume this person is not here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that was tough. Watu huvumilia vitu mingi sana.
Yeah. But hiyo ya kuvumilia hata umefanya vizuri. From that time, I think I changed that slogan, and I was like, having known how it feels to go through abuse,
Yes.
ndoa ni kushirikiana.
Yes.
Kama hamshirikiani, mnavumiliana, then it's mnatesana. Because you don't vumilia something good.
Unaweza ambia nini mtu yuko in an abusive marriage? Maybe a lady or a guy. You know, even men
wanakuanga go through
abusive marriage. Zingine it's not really physical, but
you people suffer a lot of
we suffer by the
psychological abuse, especially if you're dealing with a narcissistic spouse, a woman who is a narcissist.
Yes.
What I would say is kutoka kwa ndoa si rahisi.
Yes.
It's not easy. People ask, why can't you leave?
Mtu yuko na watoto watatu.
What are you doing there? What is so hard?
Yes.
You know, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
You don't get into marriage to get out.
True.
You know, like it's not something you just switch on and off.
Yeah.
You understand? And it takes a lot to accept that this has failed even after having envisioned like how life will be with this person. Like we had plans, we had goals, you had a whole idea of how you would want your life together to unfold.
Yes.
So anyone who is in an abusive relationship and has been stuck there, I would want to tell you, you're not alone. It's not easy. But at the end of the day, you have to make a choice and say your life is more important. In any case, I live by what Viola Davis says. When it comes down to disappointing others or yourself, always choose others. because you will live with yourself for the rest of your life.
Yes.
People come and go. You'll sacrifice your well-being, your health, your mental health, like your career, your growth, your years that you can be productive and build a life. You sacrifice them for this.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, if this person wakes up one day and tells you, Kanyanga frame, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
In any case, the fact that they're abusing you, they don't value you.
True.
Yeah, so if you're there, you have to start a journey of choosing yourself, and don't feel guilty about walking out of an abusive marriage or anything. Stop holding on to that hope, because it's destroying you.
Yes.
Yes.
About red flags. What did you start noticing wakati saa mnaanza the relationship zenye zilikuwa zinaonyeshana this guy will be abusive in future?
Now looking back, akifanya hizo wakati mimi hata ikuwa inani hit, you know, looking back, there was a lot of anger issues. Uni mtu atakuongelesha vibaya hata mkiwa in public.
Mkidate.
Like you know those initial stages, I could remember episodes of ashainiongelesha vibaya kwa super for even an issue that was not mine. Na huyo mtu si ati anakuongesha vibaya like ile softly. Nila anakufanya you feel so bad about yourself.
Oh, okay.
Unaona? Na watu wako hapo, like you can't do that. You know? But then you go home and then this person is like, oh, I'm sorry, blah, 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 you know, this should have happened this way and all that. Yeah, and then you're like, okay, you're forgiven.
Mapenzi.
I give up.
No, just say that there are people who say wako dating stage na naona hizi red flags.
Sama cha nikwambie.
Na ignore.
Anaona mkakuwa na spouse wako. Mahali in public na kukosee. I think the worst mtu ufanya ni kunyamaza. Unanyamazia huyu mtu anajua yenyewe hapa nikaa nimekanyanga waya fulani. But you won't scold your spouse in public. Utamuongelesha vibaya aje mbele ya watu. Hata in any case, acha mwende tu kwa gari basi umwambie by the way na hiyo story imenibo. Una understand? But abusers, they don't know that. They want to make you feel inferior. Yes. And they will abuse you or they will disrespect you in public. And then now they'll apologize in private.
Wow.
And doesn't mean they will not do that again. Yeah, it will be like I could be like super ile day hosi. I was like mbona sikuwa naona hizi to like
sasa zilienda zikigrow.
Yeah, now you know it comes gradual from now psychological into the physical. You know, and because you have been enduring it, as it transitions now you grow your endurance. Unaenda tu bado ukivumilia the more. But what I can say is one thing I say, I'm happy that my parents are together. And looking at, actually my dad now stopped drinking.
Wow.
And I'm very proud of him for that. Like I said, I had to wait 28 years of my life to enjoy a dad who does not drink.
Wow.
Yeah.
Na venye ali stop kudrink aliacha kuwa abusive.
No, even now after tume grow up na sasa kila mtu tumetoka home na nini, like hizo vitu. I think hizi vitu zilikuja na hiyo stress ya lose job in the midst of raising kids and building a young family, and that's not an excuse. I still feel bad that he took my mom through that, because I know now what my mom felt. You know, as a child, you didn't know exactly how it feels. You know, I would wish that he was not that man. You know, but then the fact that they worked out theirs and they're still together. And my dad is not drinking, and when you call my mom, she's happy. Like, so it's a good thing. But now, what I wanted to say is, your point. Hata nimesahau nini kwa na reference back to that.
Nilikuwa nakuuliza about whether this guy used to behave that way because of kukunywa.
Hapana, like he was not, he was someone mwenye alikuwa kunywa occasionally. Unasikia ile occasionally? Hata akuya ameiweka kwa fridge inaweza mweza 6 months hapo hajaiguza. Narcissistic personality disorder is like something that if you've never interacted with one person who has it, you will not understand. Because out here, they are very normal people.
Yes.
Yeah, actually very successful in everything they do. They are just, actually they are what you would be looking for.
Yes.
You know, when you're, because si unaonanga mtu vile anajibeba na nini, and then now you want to know them more.
Yes.
Yeah, they always pass that test.
Yes.
Very fast. And now they are abusing you, but out here they are praising you, wakiwa na mabeshte wao ama nini, like they will praise you.
Yes.
But at home they're treating you very badly. So even when you try to explain that to people, they're like, it can't be, you know. So they make you question reality. Because like, I don't know how they do that. Like, they just have two different lives. The life you're living together and the life they are portraying out there.
Yeah.
They're two different things.
What led to him hitting you the first time? And how did you feel about it?
Now, I cannot remember exactly what led to it, but those fights came from normal arguments.
Yeah.
You know, like the way you would just argue with your spouse and everything, and then unashtukia, amekurushia kitu.
Wow.
And understand? And then you're like, unadu, and then you people are in a fight.
Na kuna kitu ulikuwa unasema mbaya mpaka
Sam, actually kwambie, before I learned about this, I learned about narcissism very late in my marriage.
Okay.
You know, all along I would believe enyewe kuna vitu mimi sifanyi, right? But then I'm like, what else am I supposed to do?
Yes.
Kama ni career yangu ya acting, I have given up that.
For him.
Yes, for this to work and everything. Now, everyday couples, they have their own challenges.
Yes.
So we are not unique to that. But sasa mbona hii yetu inakuwa hivi? You know, and then when you sit down to talk, uko like, hizi issues zote unaongelelea, I think to resolve, na hata sikumbuki ulikuwa umenifanyia nini.
Yeah.
But it's very dangerous. Unajua watu ambao wanawake huweka vitu. Women don't forget. Na nakumbuka one time in my marriage, I was like, Mungu nisaidie nisikuwe naeka hizi files. Like nikuwe tu na roho nyepesi ya forgive. Like petty issues kwanza. Tunaulizana socks. Sikupiga sijui nini pasi. Hizo vitu zote. Sitaki kuweka hizo petty issues.
Yes.
But now he would keep them.
Wow.
And then because I don't remember now what he had done to me, I would always look like the one who is on the wrong. You know, to a point I was like, hey, bana mimi ungeniambia I need to breathe 2 hours and then not breathe for 1 hour for this marriage to work. I would try to do that. Yes. You know, and then your self-esteem goes too low.
Yes.
Too low. Like this person will, ile tu, you're like, ana press 2 buttons hafai. There's a like, hata aneza call out vile umevaa, unakaa vibaya. Hiyo tumbo inakaaji. Nini? Na umetoka kuzaa mse.
Hiyo kitumbo kinono. Kuna mafuta mob.
You need to cut weight. I just gave birth.
Uko na
you know,
so
baby
fat.
You start feeling ugly. You start you don't see the beauty in yourself. You stop believing that you can do even anything. And they make sure that they want to control everything about you. Yes. You know, your friends, who you interact with, and all those things, you know. So what I can say is it was now during, after nimeza fadhili post-COVID, now, then that's when now they started now showing openly that they are dating with this other lady. And tuko kwa ploti moja. So now that became open, and that now took me to postpartum. Nilipoteza maziwa. I couldn't even concentrate with the baby. Like, I was feeling drained and everything. And I called my dad and I told him, I can't, I'm tired. I'm tired. And he was like, haukuchunwa kwa mti kama tunda. Come home first.
So kila mtu kwa plot anajua that these two are dating.
Including my own relatives. They see it every day. Hata mama mboga.
Walikuwa kifanya nini?
Like, okay, where they would be seen together. They would go shopping together and come back.
To the lady's house.
yeah, like they would go shopping
Yeah.
with now my elder kid and her kid, and then they come, mtoto wangu ache kwa madam, nene, you know, and then we'll be like, so I was like, why are you doing this? Like, why? You know, I just gave birth. The child is barely 2 months. Like, the pregnancy itself has been hell.
Yes.
Like, at least I would want to heal because I gave birth through CS.
Yes.
And it was a second CS. For me, it was more painful.
Yeah.
So I would want to heal, you know. But now you're not even making it easier for me. So at that point, that's when I went home, stayed for a while, and then came around. The baby was almost turning 6 months.
Yeah.
Akasema anakujia familia yake and all that. And I remember calling my best friend that night, and I was like, Aki babe, mi najua nothing has changed. Niko so convinced. I've tried to pray, I've tried to believe, but I'm so convinced
Yes.
nothing has changed about this. But because watoto wanarudi shule, and my elder son is very excited about going back, I'll go back, but I'm giving this marriage 6 months. If I will not have seen any positive change, I'll be out and I'll not feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
I have done the best I could.
Yeah.
So I went back. When I went back, it even didn't take those 6 months. Just to know that I am in for another bumpy ride, you know.
What?
Yes, so in that period now, you would learn that, yeah, still it has not changed. Like this person is still the same person. You cannot, and I think after that 7-month issue, your vita 7 months, I was unable to see him the same again.
Yes.
So I couldn't, and I tried, and I remember praying to God and telling him, God, if there's anything as a woman I have not done, I am not perfect, yes. No one is. Humanity is characterized by imperfections. I am not perfect, I am human, and in fact, I accept when they say, like, I'm the one who doesn't want this marriage. But before you, God, if there's nothing I haven't done for this marriage to last,
yes,
acha tu nikiacha huyu mwanaume niteseke, nirudi nimbeg. And I was at peace, and I knew I'm waiting for the kids to finish that school term that was ending July, and then I just go.
What? Venye ulirudi, was he a sweet guy ama alianza kuwa sasa bado mbaya?
Like, we didn't have that connection anymore.
So wewe ndio ulikuwa na feel you cannot connect with him?
Personally, I would say yes. I tried, because I remember even after we went back, his birthday was coming. We organized a whole birthday and all that. And then I came to discover a lot of other things that he had done. And I was like, I can't. I have tried. I can't.
Na the neighbor?
Yeah, I was still there.
Were they still together?
I would say yes, because I saw a lot of signs, but I stopped following, and I told God, I don't want to follow this, because it's not rumors. I got evidence, and he knew, even her, she knew, and they were waiting for what I'll do next, you know. And I told God, this is not worth it.
Na sasa mkipatana na huyo dem maybe kwa stairs or
Tunapitana tu.
hakuna salamu?
No, I think salamu zilianza when I was almost leaving, because I stayed there, forgave them, prayed for peace in my heart, and by the time atanatoka, I think I would just say hi, tukikutana zile za sina ubaya na wewe. Like, if it's this man you want, take him. Wow. Take him.
Wow. Kuna mtu usema women are their worst enemies. So this lady anaona umepata mtoto, the way you're struggling, and she's there trying to walk around with your man.
But I would say I was happy that happened, because probably I would still be in the misery.
Venye alikuwa karibu kukuua hata nashindwa how you managed to go back after your beating yani.
That's why like, imagine, I would recommend a certain book for people who have gone through the same thing. Like, and people keep asking you, or if you're that one person who keeps asking someone who has been in abuse, mbona urirudi? Unaona? Mbona unakaa? mbona usiache huyu msee. Unaona, there's a book and it's my elder brother who recommended it to me, and it really helped me. It ends with us. Kitabu inaitwa It's End With Us by Colin, is it Colin Hafid or something? But just look for It Ends With Us by Colin somebody.
Yes.
You read that book and you understand.
Wow.
Hakuna mtu anakuanga mbaya 100%.
Yes.
You know? So there's still those aspects about that person that you like.
Oh, okay.
But then when they abuse you, when they do you the worst, then you question, is it really love from their end?
Na ukiwe
At the end of the day, like mazuri iko huku, like you, like ukiwe, because there's no way someone is going to like put you in that much misery if at all they love you. Si hata uniache tu, because I remember there were days I would tell him, just let's separate.
Yeah.
Let's raise the kids separated. I was like, no, stick to your lane, I stick to my lane and all that. And you're like, you will verbalize and tell me I'm the worst mistake you ever made and all that. But you don't want me to go. Why?
What?
You know, so you don't understand. You won't treat me right.
Yes.
Okay? But you won't let me go. Because then if I go, you lose the power.
Yes.
It's no longer in your hands. It's no longer possible for you to control, manipulate, and abuse me. And the narcissists derive joy from that.
Yeah.
The fact that wanaweza kupin down. Even in friendships, these are people who will not have like long surviving friendships, or ati mtu ataweza kukeep friendships ati anataka kila wakati endo kusema. Na kama kona mabeshte, kila wakati watanoichi. Huyu jamani, like nikana tudharau, nini, atujui.
Yeah.
Everything is competition for them, and they want to be here.
Yes.
And they want to be treated as so. So when you do that, you're enabling them the more.
Yes.
Yes. Because I remember when I started now listening to a lot of counseling psychologists, when I was now still waiting for mtoto amalize hiyo term, that's when I learned about it. So I'm listening to this guy talk, and I'm like, mbona una describe mse? You know, like they were talking about narcissism, and I'm like, you're talking about someone I know. And this person, I live with him in this house. But you're not describing him because you don't know. You're talking about another one. You know? And I was like, kumbe, this has been it all along. You know? So that was an eye-opener for me. And I remember when that day he came home, I told him, from today onwards, your character is not my responsibility.
Yes.
Neither is it my fault. You have narcissistic personality disorder, and it is only you who can work to better yourself.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, nimwambia nimekubali. I'm not a good wife. I'll never be good enough for you. I'm not a good mother, because this person will question even your mothering skills, your way of mothering. And I'm like, I don't question how you father the children.
Yes.
I don't question your ways of being a father.
Yes.
But you keep correcting me and showing me of how I am a bad mother and everything.
Yes.
Have you been a mother before? You know, it's to Semange, you're speaking from experience.
Yeah.
You know. So I told him, your character is no longer my responsibility. You're just escaping. Like you're just looking for someone to blame for your own faults. Because the moment you insult me, Sam,
Yes.
niko na opportunity ya kukutukana pia wewe.
Yeah, true.
Lakini sitakutukana. Kwa nini? It's not in my character to insult people, even when the opportunity presents itself.
Yes.
But it is in your character to insult people. So that's what I told him. It is in your character to demean people. It is in your character to stay in constant competition.
Yeah.
It is your character to abuse people and feel okay about it. It has nothing to do with me.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. And did this guy know that he's narcissistic?
I don't know. I don't know, because
Hakuna time alikubali like, hey, I think I have a problem, I need to change.
I don't know, because now the moment I told him that, he was like, oh, then find a therapist for me. I'm like, I can't help you. You have to help yourself. Like, why is it still my responsibility?
Yeah.
You know, I'm done. You know? So I don't know. We never had that conversation at all. From there, I was done because I was feeling I have lost myself so much.
Yeah.
I have given up my dreams, my goals for life. And then one major factor is that I saw my elder son now start to develop fear. You know?
The dad.
Like, akiwa nyumbani, asikie tuna argue. He would
okay.
even say, Mom, Mr. Kim fight.
Aye.
Unaona, kwa nini baba ana shout? Mom, kwa nini una shout? You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, I saw myself in him and I was like, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And up to date, like when now he goes for holiday, he's supposed to continue with counseling because that was traumatic for him. He has never forgotten. And it was sad to learn that he has even narrated it now to his younger brother, who had no idea of what happened. Or like my younger son does not have an idea of what the mother and the father went together.
Before he was born.
Yes, because he was very young by the time he was leaving the marriage.
Yes.
You know. But then now the elder brother has kind of narrated it to him. Because, yeah, there are days he has told me things and I'm like, okay. There has been a conversation. So we are still working in counseling.
Yes.
Counseling because at least it will help them to deal with that. And especially my elder one, to be able to address that trauma as early as now.
Yes.
And to not build a very negative perspective about family life. And yeah.
Kuna kids right now wame experience such kind of trauma.
Yeah.
Kuona their mama kichapwa. Kuna places where you can take those young kids wapate that counseling.
Yes, there are counseling psychologists who major in actually trauma healing.
Yes.
And I want people to know trauma is not something you have to grow. Usijiambie ati ukikuwa mtu mzima, hizo vitu ulipitia ukiwa mtoto.
Yeah.
When I experienced abuse,
Yes.
as an adult, it took me back to the girl I was. I felt the pain of her plus now me.
Yes.
You know, you don't heal. You will suppress those feelings. You will suppress the thoughts, but you'll never heal unless you walk that journey of just healing that trauma.
Yeah.
And we have counseling psychologists, and we have one in Embu that I know of. Her name is Madam Nancy.
Yes.
And she majors with trauma healing.
Yeah.
And actually during the school holidays, she's the one who'll be working with my sons through that journey.
Wow.
Because I wouldn't want them now to grow up with a trauma that will affect how they make decisions when they are adult. Because two things happen when you raise kids in abusive homes. Number one, you're either raising the next abuser,
Yes.
or you're either raising the next victim.
Yeah.
You know, because if you show your children, it's okay. Like for me, I saw my mom was beaten and she stayed.
Yes.
What did I do? I tried to stay also.
Yes.
You know, so she raised another victim.
Yeah.
You know, you raise sons saying you hit women and women stay. Chances it will not be a hard thing for that person to hit a woman, you know. But then for you to be able to curb that, or they may develop negative feelings towards being in relationships. They might find it very difficult to build healthy relationships. And it's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's what you took them through. And you never took the initiative to address it. During our mother's time, they didn't have that knowledge of counseling and all these things. The only thing they knew was prayer. And they really prayed for us.
And praying, for you,
know.
and for the husbands.
Yes.
The husbands.
But then
praying
we're
for
in
the
this
wives.
generation where we are educated and we know all these things. You can seek counseling for your kids. There are organizations that can support this, you know, because sometimes also counseling and therapy can be expensive.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know. But then there are also organizations that support that. They offer free counseling. They work with you to, even the parents, strive to go for those counseling sessions together with your kids because you also need to heal.
Wengine wanaendaga to their pastors.
Unaona? Manze, okay. I don't want to dispute that a pastor cannot help you, but the same way ukigonjeka, unaendanga hosi juu daktari atakutibu.
Oh, okay.
Unaona, it's the same way. Because mental health is an illness. Depression is an illness.
Yes.
You know, like these things, trauma also needs to be healed.
Yes.
You know, yes, we can pray for you.
Yes.
But if that is the only thing it takes to heal trauma, then
Yes.
nobody should suffer it or as an adult or anything, because si tunaombanga.
Kweli.
Yes, but the same unagonjeka unaenda hosi.
Yeah.
If you know you have experienced trauma
Yes.
as a child, or your child has gone through it,
Yes.
just take the initiative. In this generation, don't allow your child to grow up with a trauma that is not addressed.
Yes.
Seek counseling for them.
Yeah.
Because hizi vitu zita determine how they make decisions as adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can also seek counseling for yourself.
That is very important.
Yes.
Like to walk the healing journey, I had to accept that number one, I am not okay.
Yes.
Because wacha nikwambie, unafikirianga kutoka is the solution.
Yes.
Kutoka is the beginning of now the tougher journey. When you leave, you think that now that's it. Nimetoka. Sitawahi kuwa huko tena.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But then you leave and now you're on your own.
Yes.
You are now experiencing those feelings now.
Yes.
You are now realizing how hurt you are. You're feeling the bleeding. It's
Yes.
like now it's been fire, umekuwa in the battlefield. You know the way the soldiers are in the battlefield. Yes, ulisikia bullet ilikudunga mahali, lakini you had to continue.
Yes.
So now the moment now you are alone now. The war is over. Now you are alone. That's when you see, oh, I took that many bullets. Like,
Yes.
I need to pull all those bullets out.
Yes.
It's a lot of work. And it's a lot now. It's like the pain comes back to life now in full force. That's when you realize the magnitude of brokenness that you feel.
Yes.
And sometimes it's easier again to suppress those feelings. You feel like, si nimetoka sasa, acha ni focus na life yangu na nini.
Yes.
Then you wake up one day and you're numb. You're just feeling so much pain. Hata wewe sema ni wapi kuna kuuma. You don't want to leave your bed. You don't want even to just see the daylight. You're depressed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because remember, there were good days there. So you are conditioned to a few good days, vita tupigane kidogo, and then another few good days, that. Yes. And now that is not there. You have to learn now to heal.
Yes.
You have to accept, number one, yes, I went through this. It is real. I was hurt. I was broken. I was abused, and it's not my fault.
Yeah.
But then healing is my responsibility. I have to pull out every bullet one by one, nurse that wound, accept and embrace the scars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you start going for counseling. You start now walking that journey of identifying areas that you need to work on yourself.
Yes.
I call it the journey of walking back to yourself.
Yes.
Because by the time you're living there, you're just a shell. You don't even know who you are. Even if you're told to introduce yourself to the world, don't mention your name. Just tell us who you are.
Yes.
I think you'll just drop your head. Because you don't know what to say.
Yes.
You know, you've lost so much over time. You don't know what you're worth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, one day you just wake up, now can decide now, I want to pack and go.
Yes.
How was that process?
Okay, kuna kitu tu sema na ni ukweli. Mtu utoka kwa ndoa yake mara mingi sana by the time you actually walk out. So for me, mentally, emotionally, everything, my marriage ended that time when I was 7 months pregnant.
Yes.
You know, but then you need to now, kama mimi I needed to give birth. Kuna mtoto alikuwa amerudi shule sasa after COVID na nini, amalize tamu huko ndio tuweze kutransfer na nini. Now I took that period to like accept, now this is my new reality.
Yeah.
I have to be okay with living, and I have to be okay with what awaits ahead.
Yes.
So even when the day came for me to leave, I had already done that in my mind so many times that it was not hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was he prepared that
No.
you're about to leave? Or might happen? Ilikuwa surprise.
I just have a surprise.
Yeah.
Okay, siwezi ita
Aliona
surprise
signs.
because nilikuwa nishaanza kumwambia let's co-parent, let's the kids separated and all that. But hakuwa anadai. Unaona? So Kwenda bado nilikuwa nimemwambia watoto akifunga shule mimi nitaenda home, but sikuwa nimemwambia naenda for good, because I knew now that would bring another whole conversation trying to make it impossible and all that. Yeah, so when watu wao walifunga shule, just packed. By the way, mimi kwenda yangu ni watoto tu. Like I only wanted to live with the kids. That was the only thing I wanted to live with, my kids. Yeah. So when I left, I felt like I just needed to be in a new environment and somewhere where I have a support system, because I really felt I siko fiti. Especially nikuwa na mtoto mdogo. I am not okay. My mind is not in the right place. And so the only option I had was to go home. And hiyo ikwangi pia another easy call to make. Like I'm coming back home with 2 kids. Ndoa imenishinda. You know, but for me, I appreciate the fact that I had that place to go back to, feel accepted and taken care of, and like what can you understand? And we've been raised on the virtue of love and bearing each other's problem like your own, and that it made it very easy for them now to support me through the journey. I'm back. I am not okay and I need to get okay. So that's when now I started now working into going to therapy. I left mid-July. Then September, I joined the university. So my brother told me, because you've always wanted to go back to school, I'll support you. So I enrolled at university, and there you can access free counseling. Yes. So it was a journey of now reminding myself, you are talented, you're capable, you're enough, you're worth it, you know. You're not defined by the wounds that you're nursing now. In any case, they just show how strong you have been. And if you manage to leave the battlefield alive, then you have the strength to heal and move on and grow and thrive. And that journey is hard. And I would want to tell anyone who is watching and is trying to recover, don't give yourself a timeline. Don't. Hainanga, you know, so you are on a good trajectory and everything. And then one day you just feel like everything just comes back to life. You know, because losing a marriage or walking out of a relationship, it's compared to losing someone to death. So you're undergoing grief, because remember, you loved this person and you had an idea of what you would want them to become. And you have lost that. You know, they just didn't exist, but there was someone in them that you loved, you know. So you have to accept that you'll undergo those stages of grief. You know, you have to accept that you're not perfect and healing is not linear. Usiambiwa ati, it's been 2 years, mbona. No. Ni kama sahi you lose a loved one. Who tells you when to heal from that? There are days you wake up and you're missing them. You know. So there are days you wake up and you're like, how did I even go through all this? Like, why? You know. And you're like, you start blaming yourself again. You start now feeling so bad about yourself. You start feeling bitterness and all those things. But then you have to always remind yourself that you're stronger than that. And when that time, like when those feelings come, go sit in that therapist's room, talk. Just express your feelings, your emotions, say whatever it is that you're feeling. Walk that journey without fear. And don't blame yourself. You're not expected to react a certain way. You're not expected to heal in a certain way. It's your journey. Embrace it. As long as unajua uko on the right track, just you're putting in the effort. Let it just play out for you.
Na alikukall sasa venye umeenda home, anakuuliza mnarudi lini?
Actually, hata after tumefika hiyo siku alinicall jioni zile za mlifika poa. And I'm like, wow, si ulikuwa umetupea fare. Because you didn't facilitate this. You act as if you don't know why. Like, I don't want to be in that house.
Hakuwapea fare.
No, he didn't facilitate anything. In any case, it was a cousin of mine who facilitated my moving. And I am so grateful to her because she really came through for me in a very difficult moment in my life.
So lakini ulikuwa umemwambia tu umeenda kutembea huko, umemwambia that you're going completely?
Yeah, mimi nilikuwa nimemwambia nitaenda kutembea ushago na nini. Kwa like, oh, nitakwenda ndio sasa nianze kukujia sijui nini. I'm like, no, don't even come for me.
Yeah.
You know.
And you tried to come.
Now when
ulimwambia you're not coming, ama
so,
ulimwambia you're not coming back?
Watoto wamefunga shule wiki mbili.
Yes.
So towards the second week, I call him and I tell him nimepata shule, mtoto ana transfer, I'm not coming back. Now he had to come now with an elder and try to talk. And the entire time they were trying to talk reconciliation. And when it was my time to speak, I said, I'm not going. I am decided I don't want this. I'm done. I'm not going. In fact, I have enrolled for school, so I'm not leaving. Like, okay, fine, then give me the elder child to go back with. Aendelee na shule. And I'm like, we cannot divide kids. Yeah.
Akatekiwe kia na that neighbor.
I don't know. You know, but one thing I say, I think when you're going through that, the best thing is to be cautious that you don't become who they are. Because unajua the way unaambiangwa, energy is contagious. You know, that negative energy inaweza kuturn into that negative person also.
Yes.
And I remember that time because I think just praying was my only solace.
Yes.
You know, I would tell God, I don't feel like they are even worth my insult. Ati sasa ni watukane ni waongeleshe vibaya. They are not.
Yeah.
Just give me the peace. Give me the peace to just, it may happen. I don't want to become dramatic. Like sina hata hiyo nguvu ya drama. And why would I even be doing that?
Yeah.
Because I don't want this marriage anymore in any case.
Yes.
I'm done.
School fees no ulikuwa unalipa ama?
Mi nimerudi home your time. So nakaa home. When I started university, I was staying at home. And now he's paying for school fees because now he finally agreed to mtoto transfer and all that. Now here comes the new chapter called co-parenting.
Yes.
Yeah, and co-parenting, it's also not easy when you're now fresh from this very aggressive like marriage and all that.
Yes.
So that's when I learned to constantly remind myself, Kyra, you are a mother first before anything. Before a broken heart, bitter, depressed ex-wife, you're a mother first.
Yes.
So if this person still wants to be in the lives of his kids, then you have to let him. Because at this point, marriage is one responsibility, one entity. Parenting is a different entity. Yes. You know, and every parent has the right to parent their kids and be part of their kids' life as long as they want to. You cannot say like, sitakuruhusu. Yes. And also the fact that I knew what it took me to just have a relationship with my father. Yes. I did not want now my boys to feel like I denied them the opportunity to know their dad, like to have a relationship with him. So you have to wear the co-parenting boots even when you don't want to see this person, even when you don't want to see them call your phone, even when you don't want to imagine that utampelekea hawa watoto and all that. Yes. You have to constantly remind yourself, I am a mother first before anything. Yes. Yeah. So we co-parented from the initial stage and now when you have left an abusive marriage and kids are involved, there's a very thin line between co-parenting and going back to the same bedroom. Yes. Because now this person might try to manipulate you into believing that now they are better people, they can treat you better, they can do better, you know. Yes. Now if you don't respond, we went through the phases now of financial constraints, like mtu tu anaamua hii mwezi situmi hiyo upkeep, nitaituma ikiwa less na this much na nini, you know, like just to make you needy so that they see whether you're going to
come back.
Yeah, like utanyenyekea uabeg zile za sasa mbona unafanya hivi, unajua sina job nini, you know. But I think having now started my journey of healing and stuff, you still go through those stages. And I tell people who have separated and are co-parenting, you go through those stages of where now you want to talk and try to make this thing and everything. But every time that conversation came up for me, I tried, but I realized I can't completely. I can't. I can't. Yani ile huna hata feelings, huna remnants za feelings, you know.
Feelings zimeisha kabisa.
Yeah, it's done. Like the best you can do for this person is to look at them like mtu unajua. Like you know the way you know people.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, huyu ni mtu unajua and sina ubaya na yeye. One time I told him the best we can do is just to be buddies, like for the sake of co-parenting, because I'm tired of this push and pull, you know. Yeah, so
and it has worked sasa co-parenting.
Yeah, we have made sure that it works. It's not easy, and I'll tell people that when you think co-parenting with someone who was your partner, an abuser and all that is going to be easy, it's not going to be easy.
Yes.
They still try to control you.
Yes.
They were used to doing that. And in co-parenting, finances is the only way they can do that.
Oh, okay.
And I remember one time I told him, you know what? The difference between me and you is one. If I can afford a life of 1 million for my kids right now, every month, I'll give them that, regardless of what you are offering.
Yes.
Because ni watoto wangu Sam. You know, I want the best for them.
Yeah.
So, wewe sahi, you feel like probably taking a good care of your kids.
Yes.
Unani benefit. I'm not suffering the way I was supposed to suffer.
Yes.
You know, so you want now to make sure that you use finances as a way of trying now to make me suffer, make me miserable. Yeah. No. Unless God consult before agawie watu kila asubuhi, then hata kama niyo, like, do whatever you feel.
Yes.
In co-parenting, like, you have to get to that point where you accept, like, we fanya vile unataka. Don't accept manipulation.
Yes.
Because, sorry to say, tusema spouses die. Do you have to raise those kids?
Yeah.
Na mtu hata kuna deadbeats. Kwani watoto urudi kwa tumbo?
Hapana.
You know, so
Lazima
don't accept the manipulation and control simply because you have to co-parent.
Yes.
Have clear boundaries.
Yes.
Yes, and it's the only way you'll be able to heal. Because now when you are trying to heal and still putting yourself in a situation of manipulation and control and being taken steps back, you'll never get there.
Yes.
Yes, you have to remind yourself the fact that huyu mtu hata anajaribu mrudiane, it means anajua you are worth more.
Yeah.
So use that to better yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, and so for me, I stuck to my journey. I'll be graduating next year.
Wow. Congratulations in advance. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be graduating next year, which will mark 4 years of my healing journey and getting back to myself and doing even better with myself.
Yes.
And part of that journey has taken me back now to giving back to the society, because I love to just drive social change where I can.
Yes.
And it took me back to who I was before now going through all this. I used to do a lot of charities and all that. So I thought of now this time round, I can just create an initiative in Etopa Drive KE where we raise donations for sanitary pads, sanitary hygiene products, soaps, innerwears, and all those things to support girls, vulnerable girls, needy girls. And on top, we educate them on matters menstrual health, menstrual hygiene, adolescent and teenage issues, sex and reproductive health.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we work together with Christine and Connie. Yeah, to just, it's fulfilling to just know that you're making somebody's life better. even if by giving them that knowledge.
Yes.
Even by just talking to them, listening to their problems and trying to understand them.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, that has been my journey.
Wow.
And I'm happy the far I have come. And I have also been working with women who are in abuse. Some will approach me, talk about it. Sometimes they just want someone to talk to. I will listen to them.
Yes.
We will go through the issues and all that. Yeah, because at the end of the day, yeah, tunambanga women, we are our own enemies.
Yeah.
But I say, no, you can choose to be you can choose to be a supporter of your fellow women.
Yeah.
Because I always say the society I exist in today, the
Yes.
fact that some neza keti hapa and I talk about these things and someone will listen and get inspired, or someone will listen and their life will be changed or touched in one way or the other.
Yes.
That voice was fought for me by women who came before me.
Yes.
Because the place of a woman in a society was not this. You know, women were known to be homemakers, nini pale nyumbani na nini and all that. But gradually, there are women who have come, fought for this space, fought for women to be heard, fought for women to be leaders and all that.
To be empowered.
So, yeah, to be empowered.
Yes.
So what are we leaving for the next generation of women? How will they know that we existed? It's by trying to drive social change. And for me, I advocate for ending period shame, period stigma, and period poverty.
Yeah.
And I always say that menstruation is not a choice.
Yes.
It is a normal fact of life. It is something that a girl has to undergo. So I still don't understand how condoms are free, but sanitary pads get expensive by the day. You know, sex is a choice.
Yeah.
But menstruation is not. And I hope and I look forward to a world where every Kenyan girl, every adolescent Kenyan girl, every woman will be able to access affordable and for the girls, they can be able to afford free sanitary pads. Na si ile ati wanaletewa shule 1 month, alafu wataletewa tena next year. These people experience menstruation every month.
Yes.
You know?
Ama wapewe, niliona kunazo reusable.
Yes, they are there, and for girls who can be able to use them, yeah, it is good. But unapata sasa some of these girls, maji ni shida. For you to clean this thing until ingare ikue nini uitumie tena.
Yes.
You know. So as we continue to come up with sustainable methods, we should also give these girls dignity with a choice.
True.
Ile ya siwezi kulazimishia reusable pad na unajua utaweza kuimaintain with the hygiene yenye inastahili. Unaona? Yes. And also siwezi kuletea pad yenye itakuchoma sababu hauna option. We give them dignity with choice.
Yes.
You know. So educating them on all those matters and how the different ways they can go through their menses, breaking the myths and the misconceptions surrounding menstruation, because you go to some areas, you realize there's a lot of misconceptions about the same.
Yes.
So just giving them that, it's what I find fulfilling for me.
Yes.
Yeah, and I endeavor to continue doing that until we can see significant change in the society.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where do you get these sanitary pads?
Majority, and I want to say thank you to everyone I approach, and they just send that one packet, those 10 packets, those 20 packets. Christine and her foundation also, you know. So well-wishers are mostly our donors. And yeah, we would want to partner with as many people as we can to just, because you read the statistics and you realize we are at a point where even girls as young as 15-year-olds are exchanging sex for pads. Then how are we going to stop these teenage pregnancies? You know, it's been a problem in our country, you know. So we want to make sure that at least we push this conversation, we push the agenda to the point where one day it is, yes, this is a basic need for every girl, especially the school-going girls. They need to access these pads for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe there are people who would want to support you,
Yeah.
whatever you do. Maybe they want to give sanitary pads.
Yeah.
Yes. You can tell us how they can reach you.
So for you can find me on social media, Facebook, Evelyn Kaira, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I am Kaira. And so you can always DM me. I will respond on matters supporting the Pad Drive KE. I also have a number that you can reach me through 0731 55 22226. So yeah, you can reach me through that number, and yeah, we are always welcoming people on board who are willing like to just help us drive this conversation, impact, educate as many girls as we can, because knowledge is also power. Yeah, so, and when we know that we have been able to support X number of girls to be in school and not to worry about the next time they're having periods and all that, yeah, it's a good thing. Yes, and we also educate the boys, by the way. We also educate the boys, and we have had this conversation where menstrual issue is not a woman issue. You have a daughter, or probably, I don't know, I'm just saying.
A brother or a, a sister.
You are a father, you're a brother, you're a boyfriend, you know, you're a fiancé, you're a husband, and these things even men need to understand. You know, the fact that it has been presented as a women issue only has also made it difficult for us to adjust, you know, because when it comes to shame, unapata shule, wasichana watachekelewa sana na boys. I remember we used to hide those pads so much, like it was like a very classified mission. Kuchukua hiyo pad uende nayo kwa choo na nini, because if they see it, the boys will start laughing, you know, because they don't know. But now as we educate them, I remember we went to Embu Urban secondary. We had a forum together with the boys. And I remember one boy came forward and he was like, nipe moja nipeleke sistangu. And it was such a beautiful moment to see that men can be able to support women in this, only that they don't know how.
Yes.
We had one guy who came front, and he was a student, and he helped us to unwrap it and just to show it's not dirty. A pad is not something that you're supposed to feel ashamed or filthy about.
Yes.
You know, it is this clean actually, you know. So yeah, it is good when we get to educate the girls together with the boys, because now it helps break the stigma and the shame. Yeah, and the girls feel more comfortable even when now hata ukienda kuchange, ukichukua pad yako kwa bag unaenda kuchange, you're not afraid, because even the boys understand this is normal, and actually it's the best thing that she can do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. I remember when we were in primary at I think tulikuwa class 6, and then there was a lady, a kagal kalikuwa kama experiences of menstrual.
Yeah.
Halafu ya tujui ni nini, so there are people who huyu dem nini mbaya, ni mgonjwa, like yani it was watu elewi ni nini, wengine wafikiria susu yake sijui nini amepopua, yani it was so weird because hatukuwa tumeambiwa kitu kama hiyo. So it was so weird to us. And it was alafu very embarrassing to that girl.
Yeah, because unajua mko young, so bado mna make hizo funny comments, mnamchekelea chini ya maji na nini. So yeah, it affects the self-esteem.
So it was a conversation like a whole time. Even the following time,
imagine, like, can you imagine being labeled because of your menses?
Sasa watu kwa kielewa. And now that you people are educating even the boys, they need to know about menstrual. This is something that happens,
and it is normal.
Big deal.
Exactly.
Inakuwa just something very normal.
Yeah. So vile tuli interact na the boys na nini, you see positive change and they understand. You know, one thing people think they will not understand or something. They understand. And they're like, kumbe hii ni kitu yenye hata hatufai. It's no longer fun. It's no longer like something we can joke about, because this is the much that these girls go through when they are on their menses. No. So it makes it easier for both girls, and even at home, and even when now these people now become partners, spouses, and fathers, there will be no shame, you know. There will be no shame about, I have seen dads on social media training their young girls about sanitaries and all that. And it is beautiful, because now that makes it a very normal conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we wind up, I'm very sure kuna mtu hapa ana watch this show. Amepanguza jasho. hata asikizi hata hana interest la history stories amongani about me. Is this lady taken?
Now, as I give that response, this is what I want to, like, this is my parting shot. Now, when you have been abused, out of it, walked the journey of healing, don't have the pressure to try to get into another relationship and make it work.
Yes.
That happens a lot. Unataka uingie kwa ingine juu sio mimi niko na makosa. I can make a relationship work. I can make a marriage work. You know? And in the process you get into it and then poof, the same thing.
Yes.
Because you have not like accepted, or probably you have not even healed or taken time to know the parts of you that have been broken. Healing is like just having a crumbled puzzle. You have to put yourself back together piece by piece by piece by piece until that puzzle is complete.
Yes.
It is good to date. It is good to put yourself out there, get to know the different kind of people who are out there, because it is very unfair to judge the whole gender just because of one person.
Yes.
You understand? But even as you get back to the dating scene, be conscious of, you also can sabotage yourself in it, because wanasemanga ukiumwa na nyoka unaonanga kamba unaruka.
Yeah.
Some hauko perfect.
Ukweli.
Kuna kitu utafanya na maybe alifanya.
Yes.
Which can be a very normal thing, does not mean you are an abuser.
Yes.
It does not mean you are like him. But the fact that now I have not gotten to that place where now I have healed enough to be able to look at you as a human being who is imperfect and has common flaws with other men. Yes. I might run the moment Sam amefanya kitu fulani, huyo ni abuser, you know. Ama una feel pressure ya kusustain relationship yenye unajua high work cause unaogopa tena hii fail nayo uanze kusema ni mi shida.
Yes.
Una understand? So mimi nitaambia anyone who is recovering from abuse, anyone who is on the healing journey, don't have the pressure. Yeah, get back to the dating scene, but don't put yourself in a situation where you're feeling you're not comfortable, in a situation where you're feeling like it's not being reciprocated, and you're starting now to give up yourself again for this. Yeah. No, it's okay to just say, no, this is not working. Yeah, it was nice meeting you, but this is not working, you know, and don't feel guilty about it. Yeah. Because it's normal. Hata wenye wajapitia abuse wanaachana, na si wana break up, na si ni normal. Yeah, but watu wenye wamepitia abuse unapatanga kako ka feeling ka guy. Sasa kwani hakuna yenye itawai work? Yes. You know, so usikuwe na pressure. Ukiingia usikie haikupeleki poa, it's okay to just say, yeah, no, this one is not for me, na hakuna pressure. So
the moment we have been waiting for.
Drum rolls. So as of now, this baby is off the shelves. She's off the market. She's taken. She's not single. Yeah, I'm dating. And yeah, I'm excited to be back on that journey. Wow. And not feel scared, afraid. And also, I also say it's another phase of my healing. Yes. To know, because me after nimetoka sasa kwa the marriage, yes. Age na wife ilikuwa inanishtua. Like, ilikuwa ka trigger. Nilikuwa nasikia, me by the way, don't mention that name around me. Yes. You know, because of the things that it came with for me. You understand? So now being in a relationship, a committed relationship, is another phase of my healing where I get to know, like, am I on that level whereby now I can be able now to be with someone and look at them as just a normal human being who is not perfect, but they're trying and they are loving and caring, and I can be able to reciprocate without fear, you know, because now hata mimi naweza kuwa tu napimia zile za acha nione, you know. Yeah, so yeah, for me I would say I'm in that phase now, and yeah, so far so good. I thank God.
Poleni.
Na msiombe niachwe.
Msikatae ati kusubscribe ati juu sasa
yeah, guys, subscribe. Yeah, also go to my channel. I am Kyra. subscribe.
Yeah.
We also have a new channel coming up with Connie. Inaitwa Sip and Spill Uncensored. Yeah, so watch out for that. Follow me on all my socials. Facebook, Evelyn Kaira. Kaira is Kyra. Uko kwingine ni I am Kaira zote. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm so happy to have come here, Sam. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm humbled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also happy that you come. At least, hata mimi nimelearn a lot. I'm just hoping I'm not a narcissist.
You can
Can
always,
you-
okay,
yeah?
me usema, unless you just read about these things and know. By then me before then I didn't know. Na kama probably sikuwa isikia mtu akiongelelea, singewahi jua until to date.
Yeah, because maybe kuna mtu pia ni narcissist na ajui.
Exactly. Unaona, because there are people who don't know. You know, so for me it took like reading more about it, you know, and going to therapy and by saying this, and this is what I would want to say. By saying this, it does not mean that that person is a devil and everything.
Yes.
What I have said, hakuna mtu mbaya 100%.
Yes.
Hakuna mtu mzuri 100%. You know, as for me, what I say is he was not good for me.
And he's a good person for somebody else.
It does not mean sasa he's that to someone else or anything, you know. Because most time when you talk about abusers, people want to think, oh, sijui nini mnawachomea, sijui nini. No, I am also imperfect, you know. I have my flaws, but as human beings we have limits.
Yes.
We have the capacity to be good and evil.
Yes.
We just know how to deal with other people.
Yeah.
You know, I cannot be like this, you know. And that's why I said, when it comes to that now, how I behave with you, it says a lot about me, not you.
Yes.
Nikikutukana, ni mimi nimetoa hiyo kijina. I'm
Yes.
that ugly.
Yes.
You know, wewe unaweza nyamaza na uniondokee.
Yeah.
It does not mean that ati sasa haukuwa na option, ati haukuwa na kitu unaweza fanya, you know. Yeah, so for me I would say the other thing is don't let your abusers tell you how you're supposed to react. That's another thing and I almost forgot it. Nitakugonga saa hii na nianze kukudiktetia, wewe unajifanya sasa, kwani hiyo ni kitu ya kufanya ushinde hapo umenuna the whole day.
Yes.
You know, like it's my pain, it's my emotions. Why are you invalidating? You know, you cannot hurt me and dictate how I'm supposed to react.
Yeah.
That is also manipulation. You know. Yeah, so don't let anyone invalidate your emotions. If you feel you're not okay, if you feel that it's painful, it's hurtful, it's breaking, just choose yourself and start seeking help. Walk that journey. It's going to be tough, but it's the most rewarding, and I wish all of you the best.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm very happy umekam kwa show.
Yeah.
And I believe you guys have learnt a lot. Wanaume, don't hurt your wives. And the wives, don't hurt your husbands. Wacha tukuwe na tujaribu, we try to the best of our abilities to have peaceful marriages, mweze coexist vizuri na the person that you're living with. The Bible says that where there is unity, God commands a blessing.
Yeah.
So be united, love each other, appreciate each other, respect each other, and keep each other safe. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure you share this episode. And hata hizi channels zao amewambia, make sure you subscribe na may God bless you. Thank you for watching.